to another episode of St Vincent on Told Stories. On this episode, we look at Giovanni Charles, a youth who was sent to the graveyard by a young setter while in the line of duty. The allegations are that Giovanni was sent to secure the entrance gate at a school fair when a youth decided not to pay. Giovanni followed the youth and asked him why he entered without paying, and the youth put up some resistance. You see, the officer was just working by orders. But the youth decided to give him some tough attack. You know, the youths in the ghetto state. So both him and the officer got into an argument, and the officer tried to hold on to him to put him outside. But the youth pulled out a sharp object and placed it inside the office. The officer cried out for help with tears in his eyes. Persons who were on the scene tried to help. They put him in a wheelbarrow and put him inside a vehicle, and he was rushed to the hospital. But Giovanni did not make it. He was sent to the graveyard. Big ups to all of my subscribers. Please remember to hit the like button, and if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. And if you wish to see more videos like this one, please remember to hit the notification bell. When a word of Giovanni's graveyard ascending got around, it sent shock waves throughout the entire police force. When they interviewed Giovanni's superior, he said that Giovanni was one of the best officers within the force. He started out at the Port Authority as a guard. Then he went on to join the SSU and the Black Squad. His superior said that his father had asked him to look out for the boy. He said that the guy was so good at his duties that even when he was on leave, that he would call him and tell him to report for duties. And he never put up a resistance. He came. You see, after Giovanni was sent to the graveyard, one maverick, Joseph, was arrested and charged. In every police force, there are good eggs and there are bad eggs. You see, Giovanni was one of the good ones. It have some youths from the time they enter the preschool and you ask them what they want to be, they would tell you they want to be a police officer. And then they go to secondary school and join the cadet force. And then they are enlisted in the Royal St Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force. And now, when you look at the situation, you know it's a really sad one, right? You see, it have some youths who are really poor, and sometimes they want to go to the events, but they don't have the money to enter. But old people always say, once you don't have the money, don't go. You see, one might say that Giovanni should have let him through, but we have to remember Giovanni was doing a job. And once you are doing a job, it has something that says once you walk a by order, you get a piece of treat. You see, the youth should have done the right thing and go up to Giovanni and say, Giovanni, I don't have any money to pay. Can you give me a pass, please? Then after, the officer might have given him a pass. I've went to several events before where I met youths outside, and they either want a makeup or they want a passenger to go in. And once they ask politely, they are going to get it. But you see, the officer was probably securing the gate so hard because he had bad encounters in the past. You know, sometimes there are some youths that would come to some events and they would find any loophole possible. They would jump the fence. They would even cut it or push it down. And then they would go outside with their friends and laugh and say, them officer, them a fool. Watch how we got in easy and we didn't even have to pay. So it could be that the officer thought that Maverick was one of those boys. And the thing too, he argued back with the officer when the officer asked him to pay. When he could have just said, officer, give me a chance, please. There are some really understanding police officers. Then it have some who might rough you up because their colleagues are around, just to make you look small. Failing to understand that once an officer, twice a civilian. But one thing is for certain, we must big up the St Vincent and the Grenadines police force. Long time ago, we used to hear a lot of men complaining. So they were being abused whenever they entered the station. You hardly hear about that now. Right now, the officers don't have all the tools they need, but they have more advanced tools than back in the day. So probably a lot of people used to get pressured to give a statement, but they don't have to do much of that now. I remember a long time ago we had a problem escalating where some men felt that they ran the place and they introduced men like Ikebam. And Ikebam wasn't any joke about. When men heard that Ikebam was coming, men were hiding, even eating the green substance, putting it in their mouth while it was lit. They were afraid. One substance user said that one time Ikebam and his boys carried him up to Bamboo Range after they caught him with some substance. And he begged and he pleaded because he did not want to get arrested. So Ikebam asked, "What do you want to do?" He said that Ikebam told him that there are only two options. Number one, he can go to prison for a long time for the wider substance. Or he can take a drive with them up to Bamboo Range. And they give him a few lashes. You see, he did not want to go to prison, so he agreed to taking the lashes. But that was the biggest mistake he ever made in his life. The man them carry him up and they held on to him. Swat! 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 He tried to run, and number two fell down by his pants. Swat! 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 He got him more again, and number two was running down. A liquid substance even came down by his pants. Swat! 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 He jumped through the bush and ran. You see, when he came down, some friends of his found him, and they had to rub him down with sulfur grease, wales all over his body. He vowed again that if he saw a kebab, he would just keep running. But he said that one time after that he saw a kebab while he was not studying. And a kebab walked up to him and told him that he have some more lashes for him. It was not completed. The man said he didn't wait. He just kept running and running. He said that time that Ikebam did not touch him, but he was so scared that a number two just came down by his pants automatically. You see all those things that happened back in 2023 and 2024. If Ike was around, that would have been impossible because he used to be always on the street patrolling up, down, left, right, and center. One time after school, there were some boys hanging out on the block. And Ikebam said it's past your curfew time to go home. One of the boys said, "Who are you sending home? We are all big men here." Ikebam said, "Bigger man? Well, I am going to show you that a big man is going to get lashes." Boy, he gave all of them a flogging. You see, a big man, a little boy, he was getting that flogging from Ikebam once you violated. You see, there are two fairs in St. Vincent that draws a massive crowd. The one where Giovani was sent to the graveyard, and the one in Sugar City. So the incident with Giovanni happened on the 1st of May, that we call a midday, back in 2016. And the other fair that I'm talking about happens every Boxing Day. Some of these fairs makes more money sometimes than when Jamaican artists come to the national stadium. So you understand why they have to get good security. Giovanni was so loved and respected that he was given a state funeral. At Untold Stories, we want to say condolences to the family of Giovanni Charles.